I had had quite a traumatic thing in my childhood, which was very severe skin condition that lasted from the age of 6 months till my mid-20s, more or less. And I so there were associated psychological issues, the kind of fairly run-of-the-mill mental health stuff, depression and anxiety, basically, But it was very, very, it was challenging in my youth. I had a challenging youth, basically, and then I started meditating at the age of 24, 25 on a very regular basis, and my nervous system started to calm down. And I hadn't realized that it hadn't been calm, I hadn't realized that. And as it started to calm down, actually my skin, not in some straight line way, but it did start to get a little better over several years. And so I feel very sort of indebted to meditation for helping me actually with a physiological, issue, my very, very ravaged skin. But it also, of course, began a healing, a psychotherapeutic healing journey. I went into therapy of different kinds over the years, and I think I'd have been much slower to get into any of that kind of healing without the meditation. So that was part of what brought me in. The other side that brought me in was that I had in the midst of all that, when I was 19 years old, far from home, working abroad for 6 months between school and college, I had a sudden, strange moment, a sort of epiphany, when I discovered that I wasn't separate from anything. Is sort of what it felt like. It felt like I didn't just belong in the universe. I was part of the universe. It was like what I really was what everything was. And I had just never not belonged, but belonged so profoundly, and it was a marvelous experience. And I had sort of no idea what it was, actually. I just knew that I'd seen something really true and real about my life and who and what I really was. It just wasn't what I'd always thought. I was something else deep down, and so that became what the hell was that? And how do I find it again? And, and meditation, I started to realize could be a path that would help with that too, Yeah.
And so you had this epiphany. Did you feel like it was that something brought that on? Was there something specific, or?
No, it was. I mean, I know I'd been a teenage poet, very eager and serious about poetry. And while I was abroad for those 6 months, I wrote my first book, actually, which came out a few years later. And when this experience happened, I had finished what I thought was the book. In fact, I'd finished the first draft of the book, but I didn't know that then. I thought I'd finished it, and I was feeling incredibly happy that I'd managed to do this thing, write a book, and I was only 19, and I really liked it. I'd said what I wanted to say in it, and so that was really cool. But somehow I think that the happiness of that sort of, as yet untested but kind of accomplishment, it did bring a sense of real joy, and I think that was a factor. Another factor was that I'd just met a young woman on the beach who I kind of liked a lot. I mean, we hadn't really got to know each other very well, and a few days before, and I was just feeling a lot of love for her, and that was a really nice thing to feel. And then I don't know. I mean, there was a trigger. I was studying the lowering sun on the water on a beach. I was looking at the sparks and scales of light moving around on the ocean, and then suddenly, just I don't know how and why, but bam, I wasn't separate from what I was looking at. It was as if it all became one field of experience that wasn't mine. It was just one field of experience, and I wasn't separate from anything. And then But why did that happen then? Gosh, I still don't really know. I just knew that it was true when it happened. I knew somehow I'd seen the way things really were, more than the way I normally experienced them. And actually, honestly, I felt then that I could die happily with my life fulfilled because I discovered what I really was. You know?
That's amazing. And